welcome to the Apple Crafts Knitting Podcast. If you're new here, I am filming outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and I have this podcast and a online hand-dyed yarn shop that you can find on both Etsy and Instagram as Apple Crafts Fine Yarns. So today's episode, I'm going to have a whole bunch of whips. I don't think I've finished anything. No, I haven't, but I have a new cast on, so that's good. I also have a tale of woe, which is knitting related, and that's about it. So let's get started. For starters, I've been working on my Hello Gorgeous pullover for fall. Not much in the last 2 weeks other than maybe another inch or so. No, probably 2 inches since the last time you saw it. I think I was like here the last time, and now I'm down here. So it's slow, but it's going. But again, it's August, and it's 99 degrees outside, and I'm not going to need this anytime soon. So this pattern is by Lacey Williamson, and it is a paid for pattern. It came out in, looking on my computer as I do. Oh, she doesn't have the time out. I don't know when it came out. Last year, year before, something like that. So most of this is my hand-dyed yarn. The main body is Harvest Maiden, and I say this every episode, but I do not have this in the shop because it has gold stellina in it, and I don't have enough of that to put in the shop, but I can make this colorway otherwise, and I will probably do that in the next month or so for fall. But it just has a very pale yellow background with speckles of like brown and orange and red. The pumpkins themselves, that's not mine. This is Knit Picks Stroll Tweed and Persimmon. And then the green is Rowan, and I don't know the color. The brown is Forest Floor, that's mine, and you can find that in the shop. And then this really low contrast here is Spiced Apple Pie. So I did try it on. I'm finished with all my decreases in the back, because what happens is with every top-down sweater that I knit, I have to modify the back stitches. So I do, when I have a yoke like this, usually by the time I get like here, I have to start bringing in the back, otherwise it's really baggy. So I have to bring in, what I'll do is, let me just show you the back. This is just to let me know this is the back. Right about here, I will start doing like a decrease here and decrease here, and then like I'll knit a few rows and do a decrease in the center, and then I'll knit a few rows and do a decrease here and here, and then I'll knit a few rows and do another decrease here and here, and then for the final one, I'll knit a few rows and then do a decrease down there. That way the decreases are spread out kind of evenly throughout the back, and it's bringing in those stitches, because I have wide shoulders, but my back is narrower than my shoulders, and so it just makes all that drape. So I'm just trying to get rid of all that extra fabric that I don't need. So what that does too is that it kind of reduces how many decreases I need to do on the side, because if I just took it from the side, it's not really helping that fabric in the back, and I'd have to really decrease, which is also decreasing in the front too, and I don't want that. So I really want to focus those decreases on the back. I do have 2 decreases on the side, but like the first decrease is here, and then the second one is like down here, and I'm not going to need any more for the rest of the body. I am knitting this on a US 5 and soft fingering weight, and I love this pattern. So I think what I had decided to do, because it's just plain for the rest of the body, is on the sleeves, like maybe around here, I'm going to do probably this section here. I don't think I'm going to put any pumpkins on it. I may or may not change my mind on that, but I'm going to put this on here just to give it a little something extra. But otherwise, I'm loving this, and I'm hoping to be done with this by the end of September. That should be doable because it's really just all stockinette from here. Like there's nothing else to do. And then ribbing when I get to the bottom of the body. So this is more like my, I have, like if I'm, like it's late at night and I just have like an hour left and I don't feel like doing anything else, but I still need to move my fingers. So I'll knit on this and put a few rows on, or like if I have 10 minutes before I need to leave for work and I don't want to continue knitting on something that's a little bit more complicated, I'll just put a row on here or something. So that's what I've been doing with that. So my next thing, I have not made a whole lot of progress since the last time you saw my son's socks, and I'm in a tangled mess over here. I did move this to the last time you saw it, so I've added 2 inches since the last time you saw this. But there's going to be a whole lot of leg here, so we're going to be looking at this for a while because this is a big sock. It's 72 stitches around, and the foot was like, oh geez, 8 3/4 inches long, and then we want at least that for the leg, and this is where the heel is. So I've got at least another 4 or 5 inches of knitting, but it's getting there, and it's for Christmas, so it'll get done by then. I suspect it'll probably get done probably around the end of September too, just because it's more of a back burner type thing. I don't know what that yarn is. I got that at a art thrift supply, Smart Art. I never remember the full name of that store. Smart Art Thrift Supply Shop. It's in Nashville. If you put Smart Art, it'll probably show up if you're looking for it. I did make some progress on my True Colors shawl. So actually we're in a new color. That's how much progress I've made. So I think the last time you saw this I was maybe down here. So I've added 2 more sections, and now I'm at the point where I am transitioning from the blue, which I don't know the color of because again I got that one too at the thrift shop. This is a Malabrio Anniversario, and so what I'm doing is this section here is this color, and then the next section is going to go back to this color, this blue, and then after that I'm going to do this color. This is all I have left of that blue for this section. I know I have enough to do at least 1 more section of this. I don't know if I have enough to do 2, so that transitioning going into fully this is going to be dependent on how much yarn I have here. So I don't know if I'm going to be playing yarn chicken or not. So we'll find out. But in the meantime, it's nice to work with a new color because, you know, this is a lot of blue. But I am, did I just drop in? Okay, I thought I jumped in. I'm like 1/3 of the way through the shawl, so like if I put this at my fingertips and stretch out and then kind of give it a little bit of a tug, like if I had blocked it, this is about as long as it is. So actually we're almost halfway, which is cool. So I'm exactly where I want to be with that transition into the new color, and then I'm going to be doing probably not as many rows as what we see here with this new color before the black section becomes blue and the Anniversario. Because what's going to happen is the last quarter of the shawl, your colors are where the eyelet section is, and then the background of this black is going to be what these sections are. So I'm sure you guys have seen True Colors. It's from Melanie Berg. It's been around for a long time, so a lot of people have seen it. It's pretty popular. So yeah, and then that shawl is knitted on a 5, I think. 4 or 5? It's a 5. It's knitted on a 5. And that's all fingering weight. I forgot to mention that those socks are US too. I do all my socks on the US too. And that has a short row heel. My tunic. I got another section done on my tunic. Get it out of the bag. I'm almost done with my second ball of yarn. And this yarn is Cotton Linen Blend, Juniper, Moon Farm, Zoe. And I am at about 14 inches of body. I don't know how much this is going to stretch after blocking, so I might even be able to get 15 inches out of it. I don't know. I'm going to do one more set of decreases on the side. I've only done one set of decreases, I think. No, I've done 2 sets of decreases on the side. I'm going to do one more set of decreases on the side when I get about 18 inches of body. And then shortly after that, I think when I hit about 20 inches of body, I'm going to split for sleeves. I've got a purl row here to do a faux seam. Hopefully it doesn't look that janky after it blocks, because I'm not very happy with that right now, but I'm hoping that, you know, blocking will help that, because blocking does forgive a lot of things. This tunic has a split hem and garter on the bottom just to keep it weighed down. This is my own pattern, not anything I've written out, just something I came up with. I started off doing one pattern and then made so many modifications that it wasn't that pattern anymore. So the back of this tunic has butterfly stitch on the back. And what you do with the butterfly stitch, you have to have an odd, I don't think I ever talked about this, you have to have an odd number of stitches. And so you could do 5, 7, 9, however you want to do that. They just need to be an odd number, because when you get to the section where you want to start your butterfly stitch, you need to bring your yarn forward. If you're knitting in the round, you need to bring your yarn forward, slip all your stitches that you want for that section, and then bring that yarn back. You don't want to pull tight, because when you go to the next round, when you come across again, you're going to knit all the stitches that you come across. Don't pick up this is going to be loose, that yarn that you have forward, and then you go back a second time and you have the yarn forward, you slip however many stitches you need, bring it back to the back, make sure it's not tight, continue knitting around. When you come around again, you're going to knit all the stitches that you slipped, go around again, and then for the third time, you're going to bring that yarn forward, slip your stitches, bring it to the back, knit all the way around. And that fourth time, when you get, if you're doing, like, I have 7 stitches, so this is why you need an odd number. So I knit 3. That fourth one, you're going to go underneath all those, all that loose yarn that you had in the front, knit your stitch, take it off the left needle if you're knitting, yeah, take it off the left needle. Then you go over, you have to go under and then over the yarn, and then you knit the rest, and that's what makes this thing here. I got the tutorial from Studio Knit, and it's several years old, but the information is there. It's not like the information is going to change, but you can find that there. So that's what I'm doing, and that's all going on the back of the spine. So once I'm done with that whole section, I knit 7 rows plain, and then I start all over again. So yeah, as you can see here, I've got 2, so I'm in the middle of doing another butterfly stitch right now. So that's what's going on there. And I'm almost done with the second ball, so I think I bought more yarn than I needed. So I think I'm only going to need 4 in total for this, and I think I have 6. So I don't know what I'm going to do with the other 2 skeins of yarn. I don't know. I'll figure that out later. Actually, I think this yarn might make a nice summer poncho. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. That's way, way down the road. I'm not even worried about it right now. So that's that. I'm kind of breezing through everything today. I've had a very long day. Let me put this back. So I was helping changing brakes this morning, rear brakes, and it was 90 something degrees out this morning, and the caliper, was it the caliper? Yeah, it had to be on the caliper. There's this part where you have to squeeze it back in so that you can get your brakes on and then put the caliper back onto the rotor, right? And the first tire was fine, or the left brake was fine, you know, with that part. The passenger side, this thing, we fought it for like an hour trying to get this damn thing squeezed back in, and it was a pain in the butt, and it was hot out, and it was just like, oh my god. But we got it done. And I baked cookies today, and I made focaccia today, and so I'm kind of worn out just a little bit, because I was gonna podcast this morning and it didn't happen, so it's a little later in the day. Back to whips. I have a new cast on. I started the Tiptoe Through the Tulips socks by Charlotte Stone, and I made sure yesterday to finish a whole section so you could see the whole flower, because I thought it was going to be a little disappointing if I showed you the middle of the flower and not the whole thing. So there you go. So this purple is Ryan yarn, roses are red, violets are lesbians, and then the whole flower section and stuff is 'Tis the Season. And I have the tags right here. So this is Ryan yarn, and that's the colorway, and the yarn base is Twist Sock, and then the flower part, 'Tis the Season, it's craftily dyed yarn, and this is BFL woolen nylon, 20% nylon. So yep, so there's that. And this chart has been very pleasant to work with. It's because the tulip is so straightforward that really I probably could just do it without the chart. So but I'm still going to use it probably for at least the next section. The only modification that I'm doing with this sock is there is one rest row of the background before you start the chart again with the flower, because the flowers are going to be opposite of, not opposite, it's going to be zigzag basically. So like here would be a flower, here would be a flower, and then like the next section the flower's going to be there and there. Anyway, I'm doing 2 rows instead of 1, just because I think it'll make the flowers more pronounced, plus it's at the end of the sock it'll be one less chart repeat that I have to do, because originally I wasn't going to do flowers on the whole sock, but then I just decided to at the last minute. So that's kind of like my happy medium, is to give myself an extra rest row so that I have like one less chart overall to do. And then I've noticed, since this is like my 5th or 6th colorwork sock since I've gotten this book, which is where these socks come from, I've noticed that like my knitting is very tight. So I normally have, like for a vanilla sock, 60 stitches around. I have to go up to 72. And some of the stitch counts on these socks are a little bit different for each chart, but I have to knit the largest one in order for it to fit right. So, and these are knitted on a US 2 as well. So that's that. And I started these Thursday, Friday, so like 3 or 4 days ago. So it's just sitting in a light crystal bowl by my side. This is my grandmother's. This is probably from the 70s, I think. But I like it. So my tale of woe. If you're watching my dye channel, then you would remember, I think it was the last video I put out. Yeah, I think it was. Or no, not the last one, the one before. I had a black yarn that had an over dye of a purpley blue kind of color. And I specifically dyed that yarn for a project, right? So I was going to knit the Becks by Isabel Kramer. Okay, so Friday comes around because I was going to start this past weekend. And I'm looking at the pattern and I realized that it was for Aran weight. I'm like, okay, fine, yeah, my yarn is definitely thinner because it's a DK. Let me figure out my stitch count. And I realized even if I knit the biggest size, it was still going to be too small. And this pattern is from 2013. So the way she wrote that pattern is different from how she writes her patterns now. And I was just having a huge comprehension problem. I was just like, that's either too much math or too much modding that I would have to do. I don't know. It's not going to work. And I was really disappointed. I was like, damn it, I'm really going to need to have a worsted weight at least, because I think Aran's thicker than worsted. Yeah. So I would need at least a worsted weight in order to do this pattern. So I was like, well, damn it. So then I tried looking around for another pattern that I was going to do. I don't even remember what it was, but I was just looking for something simple. That one turned out to be worsted weight as well. But I looked at it to see if it was something I could just kind of add stitches to or whatever. Again, I don't know if I just had a comprehension problem that day or if it was just what was going on, but I was like, okay, this isn't going to work either. So I was like, man. So then I was looking around for DK weight cardigans and I wasn't finding anything I liked. So I was like, you know what? Clearly, the universe is saying, not right now, my child. You're going to have to wait on that yarn. So I put the yarn away after I had it all caked up and everything. I only caked up like 2 skeins, but that's not the point. So I have it put away until there's time for me to use that yarn in a way that I would like. And I took a deep breath. I was like, okay, this too shall pass, because it will pass. And really, honestly, I understand why that happened, because I'm looking at my whips, and I don't have a lot of whips, right? I have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects. Okay, we just blew through them, plus a back burner blanket, 2 blanket back burner things. And I'm like, you know what? I spent 3 weeks working on these whips to get to a point where I can cast on stuff, right? And I'm not at a point where I feel like I feel comfortable. So clearly I'm feeling overwhelmed with my number of whips. I know, you're laughing. Again, it's all relative. I'm feeling very uncomfortable with my number of whips. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I just need to stick with those socks that were my new cast on and just work on these other things until I've accomplished something else before I feel like I can knit something else. Oh, I also have the Marled Mania leggings that are another back burner project. So I'm just like, you know what? Clearly I just need to work on my stuff and be good with just working on my stuff. And when it's time to cast on a cardigan, it'll show up, the timing will be right, and it'll be fine. Because it's not that deep. It's just not. And I'm making it bigger than it needs to be. I just need to calm down. So that's what I'm doing. So that's my tale of woe. So, anyway, what's new? What's new in my life is I have yarn purchases, but I have yarn purchases for a reason. So a couple months ago I signed up for Wool Swap. I don't know if you've heard of it, but Wool Swap is basically Wool Swap. So you pay for a slot basically, and what they do is they match you up if you're looking to match up with somebody in your own country or worldwide or whatever. This lady's out in Australia, and so she matches you up and tries to make sure you have like things in common, colors or type of yarn or weight of yarn, stuff like that. So I signed up for the year. It was $35 to do 6 packages, so that's like a whole year. So I guess every 2 months you'd be sending each other packages. And actually the first set is coming up soon, and I need to get that package done today. So I've spent the last month talking with my wool swap partner, and I'm almost ready to do her package. I don't know if she watches or not. If you're watching, you might want to look away, because I'm going to show off the things you're getting for the next couple of packages. So, okay. So, I'm going to show you what I got. So, my wool swap partner likes chunky yarn. And I frequently go to the Smart Art Thrift Supply shop. Basically, that's my closest yarn shop. Even though I have one in Nashville, it's closer for me to go to this place that has yarn than to go to the other place. I do go to House of Yarn. It's just not very often, because I'm not on that side of town very often. So, but I'm almost always going past the other place. So what I found, I hit the jackpot for real. I found, she likes blues and purples and like that color spectrum. So I found some chunky tweed. What is this? I don't know what the color is, but that's this. Found some of that. And then I found some single ply of this. And then the minimum that is required for the wool swap is you have to have 100 grams of yarn. So, and then you can throw in anything that you want after that. So I found 3 skeins of these. I thought this was going to be really good for her, because it's definitely chunky. It's in her colors, and it's Jameson's Shetland Marl. So there's 3 of these. And then I found a bunch of these little ones. These are single ply, Debbie Bliss. Dial 6981, color 37509. Start naming my colors that way, maybe. I don't know. It's fun to name colors. I don't mind nobody names these colors, but they just say they're 100% wool. So each one of these is 50 grams. I have 1, 2, 4 of these. And then I just found some buttons in there. So I got that for her. And then I found some stuff for me. So what I got for myself, somebody just had a lot of Jamesons, because everything they get there has been donated in some way, shape, or form. So I had a bunch of these. These are 2 ounce worsted. I think these are worsted. It's 170 yards for 2 ounce. Yeah, so that'd be 340. What is that? 340 yards. That's not worsted. It's a heavy. Oh yeah, it's a light worsted. Yeah. All right. So anyway, I have 7 of these. This color gray, and then I found this raspberry color. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. I'm looking around on Ravelry to see if there's anything I want to do with this. I do have some ideas, but we'll talk more about that when I get to that point, which will probably be November or something like that. But I got that, and then I picked up some sock yarn. I found my first Felice. I've never knit with Felice before, so this will be interesting. So what colorway is this? They always block stuff off. Aurora. Okay, there we go. So I got some of that. This is not going to do 1 pair of socks though, I think. I think you need a ball for a sock, right? I don't know. But I also found this color, which I couldn't tell you what it is. I have no idea, but these are all 80-20. I think Felici's 80-20, right? What is Felici? I have no idea. No, 75-25. But these would be cute together, because like that orange matches up, right? So what I could do is make maybe some shorties, and like maybe this could be the foot and this could be contrasting heel, toes, and cuff. I don't know, what do you think? They do go well together though, so I'll figure that out. And then I got this color. What is this? Lana Grossa. This is 80/20. This will definitely do a pair of socks. I don't know how tall they will be, but it will do a pair of socks place. So that's what I got, and the colors are all pretty true. So that was fun. I hit the jackpot on that one. And all of that yarn that I showed you came out to 105. I love that place, I'm telling you. So it's like, if you're in Nashville, I highly recommend going there, because it's charity and you get great prices. And if you're looking to try anything new as far as anything art related, it's a great place to go because you can get supplies for cheap. So they got everything there. They have fabric. They've got, sometimes they get sewing machines in. They've got lots of books. They've got needles, yarn, ribbon, scrapbooking stuff, stamps, buttons, paint supplies, like you name it, they probably have it. It's like the best thing. So yeah, if you're ever in Nashville, I highly suggest checking that out. And then you've got, you know, Opry Mills Mall across the street, and then you've got the hotel that you can walk through, which I recommend doing that too, because it's fun inside, especially during the holiday season and Halloween season, because they start decorating the middle of September, I think, for that. And you know, they go all out, so it's really cool in there. So I'm gonna check and see if there's anything else that I need to talk about. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else. There's nothing new going on in the job front. I forgot to, well, I didn't forget. I didn't get a chance to let my manager know on Friday that I was quitting. So I have to do that. I have to start her week off on a bad note, because she really wants me to stay. But I don't want to stay. I got things, Apple Crafts things. It needs my full attention at this point. So I got to do what I got to do. All right, so I will see you in 3 weeks, because I'm going to take these last 3 weeks that I'm at my job to do that stuff and kind of get situated. The second week of September is my birthday, so I may or may not podcast that week. I've got 5 kittens that are getting spayed and neutered that week. 2 different appointments, but they're all getting spayed and neutered that week. I'm going to have a lot going on. So it may even be 4 weeks before I podcast again, but I will try to get a podcast out the first week of September. So I will see you then. So I hope that you are well, and go make something, and I will see you later. Bye.